Because right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Thank you very much, Josh. Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the Fan Cave. It's 412-575-2600. That's the number to call. If you'd like to do it on social media, at KD Pump, at Chris Mueller, PGH. Chris is up at 93.7 The Fan. Busy day after what happened today at PNC Park, where the Pirates lost 2 of 3. So many questions. Dennis Santana, I'll just read a couple of tweets because we got a ton of them on the same topic, Chris. JBox66 says Santana should be DFA'd immediately. I would agree with that. There's no reason to keep putting him out there if you get these kind of results. Jerry Boy says, why didn't they use Montgomery in the ninth? Which was my question. I'm sure it was your question. I'm sure it was a lot of people's question. When you put Santana in that game, and then you get into trouble and he walks a couple, the bases are loaded, you have a lefty up in Mike Yastrzemski. Montgomery only pitched 1 inning last night. He did not pitch the day before. Why wasn't he called upon?
Yeah, I just thought it was inexcusable bullpen management, Bob, by Don Kelly in this game. I think early in the season, when the Pirates were maybe showing flickers of promise, but their bullpen was already being its leaky self, we would get people that would criticize Don Kelly's management style in game and his usage of the bullpen, and I would feel like that was a little bit too early to do that. Like, hey, give the guy more than 20 games, let's say. Well, we've got enough of a sample size now, and more importantly, Don Kelly knows exactly what Dennis Santana is and isn't, and the fact that he pitched him 2 games in a row, the fact that he tried to excuse it by saying, I didn't want to chase the game, I thought was absurd. He chased the game very early. He dragged Mitch Keller out of there, understandably, after 3 innings and put a reliever in because he was sick of watching Keller struggle. Like, he did a lot of things to make it seem like he was going to try to chase this game down. Why put your worst reliever at this point, which is what Dennis Santana probably is, in a pretty high leverage spot? And why try to justify it by saying, well, we were down in the game. If we were tied or up, it would have been Montgomery. Your offense is great. Your offense might be the second best in baseball behind the Dodgers. They are capable, even in a bottom of the ninth situation, of surmounting a 1-run deficit. I thought Kelly was really lacking today in a major way. I thought his explanations were half-baked. And I really just thought his logic, too, like when he said, oh, well, Dennis, like his attempts, Bob, to excuse his own decision-making by saying, well, Dennis Santana's stuff has actually looked better other than the pitches that get tattooed. I just find to be theater of the absurd.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, last night he got tagged by Yastrzemski, and then he gave up a dart Bart, so he lost that game. There should be no reason why he was in there in that part of the game. None whatsoever. Soto could have pitched more than 1 inning. We're stuck into this 1 inning, 2 inning, 1 inning, whatever. Let him go longer, which is why it goes back to the opening game of this series. And Carmen Mlodzinski was called upon to finish a game that, I'm sorry, was in the hands of the Pirates. You got to trust your bullpen to get that one out. You can't go to Mlodzinski for multiple innings knowing that he wouldn't be available, especially knowing, Chris, that the next day it's going to be Jared Jones, who has a strict pitch count, it looks like, an innings count. So you had to use somebody then. That would have been the play. He was piggybacking before. I was just shocked that he went with Mlodzinski, and I think that had a domino effect in this series.
The entire Mlodzinski situation just continues to get, I think, messier. They've got this weird scripting they want to do for him. I'm sure the player himself is still very salty about being pulled from the rotation when it seems pretty clear to me that he's probably one of their 5 best right now. I mean, who would you rather have starting a game? Mitch Keller or Carmen Mlodzinski at this juncture? Like, that's another separate issue, Mitch Keller being as bad as he's been. But this is a mess. They mismanaged this. And here's the other thing that bothers me, Bob. When Kelly continues to go back to this well of, I didn't want to chase the game. Well, he had put Soto in the 8th inning, so that seems like he was chasing it too. And he wanted to save Montgomery just in case they need him against Milwaukee. What happens if the Brewers just beat them ho-hum like 7-4 tomorrow? Right? And it's a game that the Pirates never get the lead, that they're always chasing late, that they try to get back in, but it's not really close. Then what? You'll have done all this for what exactly if you're Don Kelly? When you maybe had a chance to keep it 6-5, get a guy on base, hit one over the fence, and look at that. You have 2 out of 3. By the way, they were going to get to the top of the order, too. They were going to have Mangum lead off. Out of Mangum, Lau, Reynolds, and Valdez, 3 of those 4 guys hit home runs today. So you mean to tell me if it's 6-5, if you're a Braves fan, you're not going to be pretty nervous about how that 9th inning might go? I felt it was a really desultory managing performance by Kelly today.
Yeah, and it was just a bad series all the way around based on some of these decisions that happened. And Dennis Santana cannot be trusted again. I'm sorry. When you go into this series, I don't want to see him in any high leverage. Now, he had a bunch of low leverage, which looked fine until they put him in high leverage. Obviously, he's not getting the job done. He's putting the ball right over the plate. Those guys are smashing it. We're going to take a break. It's 412-575-2600. What do you think about this series? And now the Pirates are 5 out of a wild card, 12 out of the division. How concerned are you? Call us and let us know at 412-575-2600. We're live tonight, KDKA Plus and 93.7 The Fan. All right, welcome back. This is our Xfinity tweet of the night. Comes from the other part of the PM team. That would be Andrew Filipponi. There's no justification or rationalization for the way Dennis Santana is used. There's no justification or rationalization for the way Carmen Mlodzinski is used. It's mind-boggling, and I think we all agree with this. And it is a problem. It's going to continue unless they do something about it, which, Chris, by the way, leads me back to Ben Cherington, because he's sat by, he's watched this all season long, had to know it was a problem that needed to be changed. 18 blown saves, all these other lost opportunities, and still nothing. And I know that people will say, well, you can't make a trade before, this early. Do it. Figure out a way. Find somebody. Is there someone in their system? Anything that instead of using the same stuff that isn't working.
I agree. And by the way, a hat tip to Pony for putting out that entire tweet and doing so in under 17 separate sentences, by the way, because I think it would usually be, it's mind-boggling, period. How the Pirates use, period. Dennis Santana, period. So I just want to throw a shout-out to Pony. 3 sentences is a big improvement. But, yeah, I mean, the fact that their actions and their words more or less suggest that, now this is going to be what it is for a while till we get closer to the trade deadline, is unacceptable. You have for the Pirates' sake, for the Pirates' standards, like a once-in-a-generation offense. That's not an exaggeration. You could be very dangerous with that, Paul Skeens, Braxton Ashcraft, and something resembling a third starter if you get to the playoffs. But the more you fritter away winnable games because you're not willing to even inquire seriously, from what we can tell about upgrading your bullpen, means you might just squander the entire chance altogether. Like, it would genuinely be a shame if a healthy Pirates team, positionally speaking, did not get a chance to go and put those bats to the test in the playoffs, because I think it's the deepest lineup in Major League Baseball when they're healthy, which is an insane thing to say out loud, but it's probably true. And yet their GM, their manager, but especially their GM, is letting them down by standing pat and using the excuse that, well, it's hard to make these deals before about July 21st. Your job is to do hard things. Try it.
Yeah, and they're wasting a tremendous opportunity, no doubt about it. Let's go to the lines. I'm sure a lot of people want to sound off on this. We'll begin with line 1. It's John in Plum. Hello, John. How are you tonight?
Oh, good, Bob. Don Kelly should go and coach the Savannah Bananas after the way he uses Santana.
Well, listen, I think there's 2 people to blame, and I'm going to put Kelly behind the number 1 person, and to me that would be Ben Cherington. Listen, at the beginning of the season, I didn't have a problem with what I saw from Santana coming back. They brought in Soto at $7 million. They spent the lion's share of their money on the offense, which has proven to be a good move. But there are other problems in that bullpen, and they haven't changed it since. And Don Kelly, as a manager, Chris, he only has what he has to deal with. At some point, what do you do if you're him and you have the same people that you have to rely on and they're not getting the job done?
I understand that point of view, and I think that's accurate. And by the way, a lot of the money they spent on offense actually hasn't worked out. That would be on Ozuna. It'd be nice to have $12 million that you maybe divvied up to 2 or 3 competent relievers instead of him, because now we have Esmeralda Valdez suddenly emerging on the scene. But while you can make that argument, hey, he just doesn't have any material, what's the guy supposed to do? When 100% of Pirates fans, if given the choice, if they were told, hey, listen, here's your option for the 9th inning in a 1-run deficit. Mason Montgomery behind door A, Dennis Santana behind door B. 100 out of 100 Pirates fans would have said, give me Mason Montgomery, especially with Braves lefties at the start of the inning, that 9th inning. They had left-handed hitters up.
Even after the bases were loaded, make a switch. You got Yastrzemski coming up. He had a ball off the wall last night. Go lefty on lefty.
Yeah. Go lefty on lefty. But Don Kelly was the one person in Pittsburgh who's reduced after the game to saying things like, well, we were actually 1 hitter away from the real pocket where we thought Dennis Santana could succeed. I'm going to tell you where Dennis Santana might be able to succeed moving forward. The Korean Baseball Organization, or for the Yomiuri Giants or the Oryx Blue Wave. Send him over to Japan, because clearly Major League Baseball pitcher is not something he should be putting on his resume anymore. He's that bad. And Don Kelly is apparently the last man in Pittsburgh to realize that.
And especially after what happened yesterday. He grooved 2 pitches and paid the price, lost a game because of that home run to Joey Bart. And then he comes right back and puts him in the same situation. The results are the same. Does that mean he does it again tomorrow? I hope not. Let's go to Frank in Pasadena. Frank, thank you for calling the Sports Call. What's going on? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, guys. Thanks again. 2 points. First one on Keller. I know you guys, Chris alluded to on the show earlier, but man, what an albatross this contract is becoming. We're going to owe him, I believe, $17 and $20 million next 2 years, and it's going to be seemingly even harder to find a buyer. It's just how bad he's performing, and man, how damning is it that Kelly admitted today that he felt more comfortable with Cam Sanders in the top half of the Braves lineup than Keller. But my second point is, yeah, isn't that something? But my second point is this fact that Cherington, alluding to the draft as the reason why they can't address these bullpen needs. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the draft was historically held in June, so I really don't understand why this is something that's so hamstrung for him to kind of, I guess, a talking point, but it's clearly cost him so many games at this point.
Yeah, but he also, he has a lot of people doing the draft. He can be involved, certainly, but he has a bigger item to take care of, and that's this team right now, given what's at stake. And that's why I think a move should have been made a long time ago, and I don't know how it gets done, but you got to try and you got to do it. So here we are in that same situation. These next 3 games are going to be very important. I dare say they need to sweep the Brewers.
And they need to take 2 out of 3 at the bare minimum to go 3-3 in this stretch. A sweep seems like a lot to ask out of what the Pirates have shown themselves to be and against what the Brewers have shown themselves to be. Just on Keller, real quick, it is funny that Kelly just flat out admitted I'd rather have Cam Sanders, who might actually be worse than Dennis Santana, pitching. And Cam Sanders didn't cover himself in glory either. Mitch Keller has Dennis Santana disease, in my opinion. He's got, I would say, on his best day, above average stuff, not good, not like great stuff, but he can't really throw it by anybody right now. He's got more of a track record than Santana, I guess, but I don't know why anybody would watch Mitch Keller, who, by the way, has not had a start where he went at least 6 full innings and gave up 2 or fewer earned runs since May 24th. I don't know why anybody would look at his body of work over the last 6 weeks and think that the All-Star break is going to change things for him. It appears that the swoon hit early this year. Remember, he pitched 4 perfect innings against Colorado, then randomly got rocked in the next inning, and he hasn't been the same guy since, Bob.
No, 11 starts, a 7.03 ERA, and that is just bad. Let's go to Brian in Wexford. Brian, how are you? Go ahead.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay. Hey, I called you, I know, a long time ago. I've been hearing what you guys have saying before I was on hold, and I called you a long time ago, and I said this about Jung Ho Gun. Well, I'm going to say this about that Santana that gave up that grand slam. Here's my words. Get him out of here immediately.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
he won't be.
I know, but he should be. If you're going to go on results of what they have to get out of their bullpen, he's not delivering it at all. And if you continue to use him, do you expect something to change? I don't. He's had a lot of time here leading up to these last 2 days, and when he gets in these high leverage positions, the results have been the same.
I mean, the only thing Dennis Santana should bring to the mound with him isn't a glove, it's a mop and a bucket, because that's the only duty he should be used for. Yeah, he's real good when they're up 10 or down 10 more. Oh, my goodness. He looks so crisp when there's literally no pressure on him, and probably a person from the stands who pitched in college might have an equal chance of getting 3 outs. When you put him into any leverage situation whatsoever, it is just obvious that he doesn't have the confidence and really the skill right now to execute his pitches. He was, 1 pitch away from ending that inning, and he just throws an absolute yacker, a complete gopher ball to Yastrzemski. Like, that ball, that's the other thing, Bob. Doesn't it make you feel insane? You've watched a ton of baseball. I have too. Our viewers have. To hear Don Kelly just say, oh, the bad pitches are just happening to get hit for Dennis Santana, as if like he's getting unlucky because hitters are making like really good swings. The guy's putting the ball on a platter
Yeah.
Like, it should be coming with a hotel room service bill. These are such bad pitches. And his manager is sitting here acting like, well, major league hitters are going to make major league swings. Come on, man. Don't insult our intelligence.
Jim in Baldwin before we go to break. Jim, welcome to the Sports Call. Go right ahead.
Yes, Bob, how you doing?
Good. Thank you.
Yes, I just wanted to tell you, they got to get rid of the garbage. They got too many people in there that can't do the job. And Kelly, I think for the whole year so far, he's had his managerial, I guess, problems. I'd say at least 18, 19 games that he's made decisions that were costly.
Well, I would say, and most of those have been the decisions about the bullpen and their performance in the bullpen. It makes me wonder also about switching pitching coaches. I have no idea to what extent that change has had something to do with this or not. All I know is they're digging out now. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 teams they got to deal with just to get to the wild card. They're 5 out of that. The longer this goes, the worse it's going to get. Chris, we're due for a break. We'll come back and continue this conversation right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, KDKA Plus and 93.7 The Fan. All right, welcome back. Bob Pompeani, Chris Mueller with you tonight, 412-575-2600. I want to ask you also about, real quick, this Leo Carlson thing that happened today. Anaheim said, we will pay him. It's what Philadelphia offered, which was 5 years, $90 million. I think the Flyers genuinely wanted him, but I also think they wanted to make it tough on Anaheim. If you're Anaheim, would you have done what they did and sign him, or would you have taken the 4 number ones?
I mean, he is a franchise type of center, and he's, 21 years old. The cap's only going to go up, even though it doesn't go up at the rate the NFL's does. I probably would have taken the player here. The 4 number ones, we know what those are. Those are literal lottery tickets in the NHL. They could end up being nothing. The real problem here is the fact that Pat Verbeek let it get to this point. Like, how do you fail so miserably at negotiating with the player that you get to the point where you have to match somebody else's offer sheet? I think that's the real. If I were a Ducks fan, and my God, there's probably at least dozens of them out there, I would be very upset about that.
What about Connor Bedard? If you were the Penguins, would you do the same to him and make him an offer?
I'd certainly consider it. I'd certainly make them tell me no. We're going to keep the player here. I think the real interesting thing is if the Penguins can still put a kind of a Hail Mary shot in there for Jason Robertson from the Stars. Elias Pettersson in Vancouver. I know that name's getting bandied about, Bob. I don't know. You can look at the stat trends and you can hear what some people say about him. Big fat no thank you.
We're out of time. No thank you. But thank you, Chris. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow night.